Welcome, dear clients. It's so great to be with you again. As I mentioned to you before, I'm going to be having these town hall discussions with you about maybe twice a week right now. And I'm just going to portray some facts with you and planning ideas and what do we do as a result of what's going on in this market and as well in this world. We're all experiencing a new normal, no two ways about it. So just some interesting facts, some encouraging facts. In China, there's more people that are released right now from the coronavirus that's coming in as new cases. Actually, the temporary beds and the hospitals in China are mostly empty now as the recovery rate that is increased. Here's a good one for you guys. Starbucks has opened 85% of the stores back up in China, and they're open for business. There's two things in China you need right now: no corona and a cup of Starbucks, right? And then Trump administration is still very much working on phase 3 of the stimulus, which are checks to Americans. I know he said it's going to be big and bold, and so the timing on that again is probably around about April 6th would be the first checks to go out, as well as on May 18th if the crisis continues. What does that look like? At the moment, it's still being kind of sorted out through our wonderful democratic system, right? And at the moment, it looks like about $1,200 per person or $2,400 per family, and if you have a child, another $500. A lot of Starbucks money, I think this looks to me like. But then we also are looking to eliminate, or at least other benefits I think that are more substantial, is the payroll cuts or payroll, how do they say that, payroll tax holiday that should help those folks who are still employed. All these tax cuts is looking to add about $1 trillion to the government debt. Now, I got to be honest with you, last night about 2:30, I woke up and I thought about this, what's happening with it? Why did the Feds reduce interest rates? I'm glad they did, but it also has a lot to do with funding. It has a lot to do with funding these bailouts and financial assistance to all of us, right? Because the Fed is paying an interest rate at 0% on its debt at the moment. So, other things that is happening, the FDA is examining if malaria drugs can be used to treat the coronavirus, and they are seeing some positive signs of this. So we'll keep you posted as to what that looks like. So what are some of the context, or how we think about this in what type of context? Again, the biggest questions we're asking is, how deep is this dive, and how long is it going to take to be able to recover? So I had my team do some research on some previous viruses. Now, we all agree. I think if you want to try to put this in perspective, what we're going through at this point in time is probably a combination of 2008 and viruses like SARS and bird flu and the swine flu. If you really think about the fact that we are having a pandemic and we also have an economical backlash as to what's happening. So just perspective for you again. SARS was a great virus from 2002 to 2003. 6 months after the SARS virus, or the first case was developed, it was developed or identified in November, and in April, 6 months later, the markets were up 14.59% in that 6-month period of time. 1 year after the first case of SARS, the stock market was up 20.76%. A little hope for you there. Was that a one-time event? I don't think so. Bird flu, 2004, 6 months after the first case, 11.66% increase in the markets. 1 year later, 18.36% increase in the markets. Finally, swine flu, 2009, 6 months mark, 18.72%. 1 year mark, 35.96% rate of return. I share this with you because it's context. So if we say to you that we're fighting our emotions, right, to put a break on how our accounts are bleeding at this point in time, and if our answer to you is, it's a multiple answer, but if it's for the most part that we're not panicking, that we are not reacting to it in the extent, we're making what I call adult decisions at this point in time. I want to share with you the context that the markets do recover after an event like this. It's kind of like we're driving down the road, right? And we're down the freeway or the I-4. We want to change lanes. We just change lanes, and we just hear this honk and squeal on our side, and our blind spot is the person next to us. When we do that, we have the first reaction of just yanking the wheel back. And if we yank the wheel back too strong, we really wreck the car. So the emotional blare is there, the honk is there. It says, I got to do something about it. But I want to be smart about the speed at which we bring that steering wheel back so we stay in our lane. We don't let our emotions run ragged with us. We make smart adult decisions about what we're doing. So how do we do this? How have we done it in the past? We've done a lot of planning together, folks. I want to remind you, we have a wonderful plan. If you've forgotten what your plan looks like, please give us a call. I'll be happy to show it to you again. But we've planned your income distribution, the time when you need this money to come back in your life. We've timed it with your income plan. It's given most of you a time frame of way beyond a year before we need this money. For those folks who are right now collecting money from us, we've raised that capital in the beginning of the year because we anticipated volatility. We have talked with you about and are right now talking with a lot of our clients about how I can transition to environments or investment vehicles that have downside protection built into it. Ideas like equity indexing, ideas like structured notes that has principal guarantees and upside potential of what brings from the markets. Ideas like how do we more tactically manage your accounts. What we are doing going forward, I want to share this with you sincerely. Did this myself. When we're trying to put our arms around what's going on, sit down with your husband or your wife, have a discussion. Say, honey, what does this skinny budget look like, or spending plan at home look like? What does the skinny plan look like for us at work? Let's be very conservative. Let's have this discussion. Some of you are having this discussion with ease. Some of you, it's very difficult to have this discussion. If there's ever a time to try to bridge this discussion or have it now. Become conservative on your cash outflow, preserve cash, and then also talk about what the contingency plan might look like. Where would we go first, second, and third to tap cash for us to be able to live? There's many great ideas like this. I'm compiling at 7, 8 ideas like this. So if you want help, if you really need help to think through what this looks like for you, feel free to call us. I'm happy to offer 15, 25-minute discussions with you to do mini recaps and answer questions, share with you ideas of what you can do proactively in your planning, as well just in your thinking to bring more peace of mind. I don't know about you, but it's been quite the journey to put our arms completely around what we're dealing with at this point in time. So I know most of you feel the way that I do. But when you start getting clarity and traction and confidence, the stress goes away. And I want to help you with that in any way, shape, or form. Some of you have friends and family members who have either lost jobs or are really fearful. Some of your friends have no advisors, and some of them have advisors. They're just not being proactive with them or reduce their risk. So for those folks, a tangible way for us to help, I extend to you an opportunity for you to pass our phone number or contact information on to anybody you feel would really benefit from a 25, 35-minute conversation about just making pragmatic financial decisions today. Real pragmatic decisions. Anybody that you feel that you want to extend help to are welcome to give us a call and just schedule a time to have us help them think and bring clarity. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to being with you next week and bringing you some more facts and some more information. Have a great weekend.